So for some of us, the road to learning ends when we perceive that we are simply too old for it. But here is a story to inspire you to never stop striving to further or to complete your education. He's 80 and one of the country's latest recipients of a PhD from the University of Johannesburg. Dr. Robert Jeffrey, good evening to you and welcome. Congratulations, and it's my privilege to welcome you to the program. I want to start with this one. How did it feel when that standing ovation erupted as you ascended to receive your doctorate?
Oh, it was wonderful. I never expected to achieve this at the age of 80. It was wonderful. The whole setting, it was very professional. The whole ceremony, and to be part of that ceremony was tremendous in itself, apart from the personal pride that one takes.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Really incredible. And, I'll get your thoughts a little bit later on about, just the sensation that you've caused through this accomplishment. But let's talk about the academic journey. As I know you've got a degree in applied maths and you've got a master's in economics. And these were, I think, earlier on in your academic career, and then later you decided to pursue your PhD, and this is after you suffered a personal setback. And I'd love for you to share that journey and that story with our viewers.
Well, I also did a Master of Business Leadership through UNISA, a business career is one of continual learning and continually keeping up to date with what needs to be known and done. And at the end of the day, one writes many reports, and as you have seen from my CV, I have had to give many presentations and written many reports. But one comes to a point where at the end of the day, one reaches retirement, and one needs to have a objective still in one's life, and my objective was to continue to keep learning about a subject that I knew a great deal about, and my knowledge from after being in actual business and running a company into an overall economics overview of what is happening in the economy. I specialized in the energy side, which is the driving force of what has to be done in the future.
And this is what your thesis was about, right, Robert? An interesting and relevant thesis assessing the actual costs of alternative energy generation technologies for South Africa in line with our economic development. And as you've been alluding to now, you wanted to do something that was useful and something that you could leave behind. Would that be an apt characterization?
That summarizes exactly how I felt about it. And I set about actually writing about it. There was an added situation, which luckily isn't visible today, but I caught a peripheral neuropathy, which involved actually in the end 3 back ops, and I've lost the use of my legs. So from losing the ability to do sport, I had to focus on things which one could do. and that is why I ended up really getting to grips with the situation in energy, more so than I would have. And I started putting it in writing, and in the hope that it will make a difference to South Africa, and at the end of the day, give a chance to South Africa to increase its economic growth performance.
It's really such a beautiful story. You know, when you talk about the personal setback that you had after being so active, you know, in your life, and you certainly seem to be quite a family-oriented person. How do you keep going? You know, so you suffer this personal adversity, you know, there are certain things you have to adapt to, you know, and again, pursuing such a big dream at an advanced age, and some would argue whether that's an advanced age or not, that you're still young and fresh. How do you marry all of those things to be purpose-driven and to stay the course?
Well, the first thing is I have a wonderful wife in Carol who has given me marvelous support over the many, many years. Actually, I think 53 years.
Wow.
And that was extremely important. But my children, there are 4 children, and 2 boys and 2 girls. Actually, in the photograph there, unfortunately, all my children could not be there. I had 2 that were overseas, and only one attended, who was my daughter. And in fact, the other man there is my son-in-law. My daughter actually is in the States, and I think is flying back tonight.
So how does it feel to be a rock star? I imagine not only a deep source of inspiration to your children, the grandkids, you know, to Carol and everyone who supported you, but if you see the way the story is being received, so many people just so inspired by your accomplishment. Are you getting used to the fame?
One never gets used to that. I am what you call honored by the tremendous support I received from my family, and in particular, obviously my wife, but also by my many, many friends who have given me support and inspiration. If I may say, I've been extremely lucky to work with some of the finest minds in the economic and electrical energy field, and those have given me inspiration to do better. At the end of the day, education is what is necessary for this country, not just the education of university, but also technical education. We must not become just university looking at more academic fields. What builds a country is actually the hard work that takes place by so many people.
Yeah. Really beautiful words there. And, you know, I suppose you'd have a word of inspiration as well for people who think they might be too old, that ship has sailed in terms of further education and studying. So maybe just a final quick word, Dr. Robert Jeffrey, for those And also tell me what great adventure are you pursuing next?
What venture am I pursuing next?
Adventure.
Well,
what great adventure?
I would hope to, my original wish was to do some more travel, but that is not possible anymore. And my wish at the moment is I will continue, I hope, to consult and read further on the subject that has been very important in my life, and at the same time to follow certain other, shall we say, hobbies that I have, which include photography and also primarily photography and bridge. But those are things that are not there just for youngsters, for oldsters. Let's put it this way: youngsters should also have other things to do when they are older, and make it part of their career. And it is vitally important that happen, that one has a number of interests. Mine, if I may just say, I was fortunate to have both my parents as teachers. My father was a science master, so I learned a great deal about science, maths, and those sort of subjects. Determination came a lot from my mother, but I was never driven to any extent. I actually myself decided that these are the things that I needed to do for myself and for my career. And I was also lucky to be a fairly good and active sportsman.
Well, Robert, it's been wonderful chatting with you and hugely inspirational. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. Good luck, and good luck with the photography in particular, and love to your family. UJ, PhD graduate, freshly minted Dr. Robert Jeffrey.